guys, welcome back to our channel. So today we're doing a 2 looks 1 palette with the ABH Norvina palette. Obviously I played with some of the fiery colors. Vic played with the purples because it is a purple palette. But if you're interested in seeing our 2 looks, then just keep on watching. Okay, so just excuse, I just self-tanned, so like... So first I am going to start off by priming my eyelids with the ABH eye primer. And just a little, I don't even know what brush this is. I think I got it in a BoxyCharm. I'm just gonna use a little bit. I used to use a lot and like carve out my brows. Now I just do like a little bit. But this is like my fave eye primer of all time, so 10 out of 10 recommend that. Even if you don't want the Norvina palette, this eye primer is fire flame. I used more than I expected if I'm being honest, but it's okay. I'm just gonna go over it with my finger. So first I'm gonna go in with this little elf brush. What's it called? I don't know if there's a name to it. It's the little collab they did with Nabella. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what somebody said in the comments because I always pronounce her name wrong. I'm first gonna go in with the shade E4, which is this like neon kind of corally shade. And I'm gonna blend that into the crease. I'm just gonna kind of do it in like right here. I'm not gonna wing it out or anything like that. I'm just gonna kind of follow my eye shape. I have this little like dirty towel. We always buy washcloths so we can just kind of rub off a brush. If you have like a dry brush cleaner, you can use that as well, but for the most part it gets enough of the product off if you're not using like a black or something that you can go in with another color. Then I'm going to go in with the shade E2, which is just like the normal kind of orange color. It's not like neon. And I'm going to go right above the E4 shade and kind of blend that like right into the eyebrow. On the little edge piece, I just kind of like tap my brush to get more of that like rounded effect, because I'm really bad at getting like a rounded eye look. I don't know why, but then I'm just gonna take my finger and go over like the very sides of it. Now, fair warning, the browns in here, specifically E5, I don't remember with C5, but E5, this little bottom one here, I find that it gets kind of patchy when you blend it out on top of other like shadows, which I find kind of can be the case when you're packing on shadows, which is why I typically do like the reverse blending. But since this is more neon, I want to do like dark after. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me it can get too like blended together if I don't do it after. So I am going to go in with that E5 shade. This is on a little Morphe M507 brush. This is my favorite brush of all time. I recommend you pick 90 up because Vic and I have probably like 4 or 5. Like we use these every day. So I'm a little bit up on my brush, tap off the excess, and then I'm going to just kind of stamp it like I did on this side, like along the outer corner. I will blend a little bit and then I'll go back in and stamp it just so it doesn't look patchy in any way. But I find that for the most part you can stamp your way to a nice blend. I don't know what to say. And I'm going to go back in with that little elf brush and blend over the very sides of it. Now I don't know if you can see here, but it is kind of patchy because I blended over it. Even if I'm like super light and I blend like as lightly around it as possible, it can still just get a little bit patchy, but that's when you just pack on the color. I find that this is the case with a lot of pressed pigment type shadows. Like it's just kind of tricky. You have to kind of see, like feel your way into what works. So I'm just gonna repress that on the outer corner. Okay, and that's what we're gonna do there. Then for our lid shade, I was really debating between a few of these because I don't know, like I wanted to go in with E1 because it kind of just like would work, but I decided to make it a little bit smokier, so I'm gonna go in with the shade C3, which is this like middle kind of beat up shimmer shade that I just used. It's kind of like a dark rose gold, maybe would be a good description, or like a red, like a more red copper, I don't know. So I'm gonna go in with this. It's a nameless Morphe brush. It is my favorite like shimmer shade packer honor brush. I don't know how to explain it, but it's nameless, it's very thick, it's chunky. I am going to spray the brush for the first round just because it's easier to lay down the pigment. This is just water. Water with aloe, I think, is what it is that we put in a empty spray bottle. And I'm just going to pack that here. I'm kind of going to mimic the effect of a cut crease, which is something we do a lot, but I don't care to cut the crease if I don't need to, so. And then I find that if you go down with a wet brush originally, the dry shade that you put over it gets like amplified. It's way more foiled. So that's why I'm doing this. And then I just kind of pat when I get up here by the brown. And then just lightly kind of blending the edges. Back in with the little Morphe brush with the dark brown on it to blend the edges as well. And I'm kind of going to go over the very top of that shimmer, just right here. Because I find this kind of pulls it all together a little bit better. See, this eye shape, I was like, yeah, rounded to the max. This one's kind of leaning a little downward, but it's cool. I'm just going to take that brown shade again and kind of pat over the sides for no reason other than I just want a little bit more of it. And that's the completed top look. I'm gonna do my base, my brows, and all of that, and I'll be back to throw on some lashes and stuff. So I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So I took the E5, that dark brown red shade, and smudged it along my lower lash line about halfway through the eye. I'm going to take the little fluffy end of the Lunar Beauty brush. Well, I don't have the small end anymore. I'm going to take the shade E4, which was that like neon-y orange shade, and blend those together. And then go under the brown a little bit. On that original fluffy brush, I'm going to take E2, which was the orange, and kind of go along the entire lower lash line with that. Very lightly, though. For my inner corner, I'm going to take E1, which is that little like sparkly peach moment. I think that could be cute. I'm taking it on a Morphe JH39 brush. Yeah, it's cute. And then for lashes, I'm going to go in with these Eye Envy 3D 116s. They look kind of cute. Riz Tina, our pal Riz Tina, sent them over to us a while back, and I haven't used these. I used the other pair from this collection, but not these specifically. She also sent us some of the ABH lashes. She's on ABH PR, and she gave some of them to us, and wow. I liked them. Okay, and this is the completed look with the Norvina Volume 1 palette. I accidentally call it Volume 2 every single day, but it is the Volume 1. And yeah, we'll get on with the next look. Vic will show you another one. I'll pop in here, do an outro. It'll be a great time. Alrighty, so we are on to look number 2 with the Norvina Volume 1 palette. I couldn't help but play with the purples and pinks. I don't know what I can tell you. I'm gonna first prime my eyes with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyelid Primer because it's fitting. You can probably use whatever. I haven't played with these that much. Rachel probably has, but I don't know exactly if they work best with this primer or if you can use whatever. I will I would hope you can use them with whatever, but you never know. First, I'm going to start with the shade A3 right here, and I'm going to place that on my outer corner. I want it to be, I mean, obviously you can see from here, I want it to be mainly dark on the outer portion and lighter on the inner portion. I just love that kind of look. I think it's so stunning. So I'm gonna do that here. I'm winging it out, but I'm not making it super sharp. I want it still a little on the circular side, I suppose. And oh, this is a little pencil brush from BH Cosmetics. This came in like a cheapy old set. This is the number 13. Yeah, I'm just gonna pack that on here. And I'm not gonna bring it any farther than halfway. And then I'm gonna go in with a Morphe M518, and I'm gonna go into the shade A3, which is the purple right next to it, just the slightly lighter version. I'm just kind of diffuse that a little bit. I don't know if this purple is even lighter. It's just a little more vibrant, I think. And I'm pretty much going all the way up to the brow. I have no excuses. That looks pretty blend. I'm then going to, let me clean that up actually. I'm then going to take a JH40 brush. It's just this little tiny tapered brush. This is my favorite kind of brush of all time. I have like 8 of these. And I'm gonna go into B4, which is the deepest purple. And I'm essentially gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna keep this one a little lower though. So I'm not gonna bring it all the way up like I did the other ones, but I'm gonna concentrate the color kind of down here and wing it up a bit. I hope that's not too loud. And then I'm going to take that initial pencil brush and just buff out the edges of that darker purple. I'm not going to take any extra product on here. I'm just going to use what's the remaining shadow basically. And then on that same Morphe brush, shocker, I'm going to go into the black in here. This is D5, right on the end. I'm gonna take that one and do the same thing pretty much that I did with the purple, but I just want that a little deeper because I'm me. Could you be any louder? And then this next portion took some trial and error, so I'm gonna take the shade B3, which is the shimmery pink here. It's so beautiful. I love this color. Wow, my face is red. I'm gonna take that on a brush from BH Cosmetics. It's just a flat brush. I'm gonna take that on a brush from BH Cosmetics. It's just a flat brush. The name has kind of rubbed off. It's from the Rose Gold set. But I'm gonna take some of D3. I'm gonna spray that with some water because we're not bougie enough to use Fix Plus as a brush spray. And I'm gonna place that right like where my lid and the shadows meet. But I'm just gonna place it in this middle portion. I'm not gonna bring it very far in. I'm only gonna bring it down kind of in this shape, like a diagonal line kind of. I don't want any of this portion to have the pink, just this little section here. Color around the edges with that pencil brush we were using initially. Then I'm going to take the shade C1, which is the matte white. I'm no matte white connoisseur, but this one is freaking really good. ABH really does matte whites just well. I don't know. I never used to be a big matte white person, but I don't know. I might be a believer now. I'm gonna place that just on this empty space. It's also gonna go in my inner corner. I don't want to cover up the pink too much, so I kind of had to go back in and go on that again on the other eye, but maybe I'll get it right this time without having to clean it up a million times. I just want it to look very open, very doe-eyed. I'm gonna take the section, or the part of the brush that doesn't have a lot of product, and I'm gonna kind of blend that upwards and out. I'm just gonna take a little clean brush and go around the edges of the white to diffuse that a little bit because it is such a bright white. It's a little stark. So I just want that to look, you know, diffused. For my lower lash line, I'm gonna do this off camera because I'm gonna do it with my base, but I'm gonna just use the black. I'm gonna use D5, B4, and A3, just those purples and the black that I used, and smoke that out pretty heavily because that's, you know, the vibe I go for. I'm gonna pop on some lashes, and we will both be back to show you what everything looks like. Alright, so these are the completed looks, all done with the skint and everything. So if you enjoyed, be sure to like the video for one. Subscribe would be another really handy tool that you can hit. There's a bell that you can ring apparently. It will notify you if you're interested in that. And yeah, we hope to see you in our next video. Bye! Bye.